can say no to a puppy, right?
Oh, we will go for it.
She needs to find extra vet techs to get the pups some extra love.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, candidates can find it easier, so you can hire easier. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Always live on the free Odyssey app.
KNX FM and HD Los Angeles.
This is Southern California's news.
A lot of news this morning. An American hostage released by Hamas. Opening statements also starting in the Diddy trial there in New York.
In California, in the sights of the Department of Homeland Security, we'll tell you why and what could happen.
Markets are way up after this trade pause with China.
Only on KNX News 97.1 FM.
9 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Steve Kathan. Freedom today for the last American hostage held in Gaza by Hamas. A reaction in 21-year-old Edon Alexander's hometown, Tenafly, New Jersey, when word came in. CBS's Imtiaz Tayeb.
Edon Alexander has been released from Hamas custody. He was handed over to the Red Cross. As we know, his mother and family have been carrying out this extraordinary campaign to try to release their son and the remaining hostages in Gaza. And one would imagine very soon now, he will be in the arms of his family.
It's the first release of any hostage since an 8-week ceasefire collapsed back in March. CBS's Robert Berger in Jerusalem.
We have to see what his condition is when he's released, Edon Alexander. He will be taken to a military base and then on to a hospital to see how he's doing. If he's healthy enough, there has been reports that he would go to Qatar.
Qatar is where President Trump will be later this week during his Middle East trip. This morning, the president hailed the deal with China that will roll back the big tariffs imposed earlier for both sides for at least 90 days.
The talks in Geneva were very friendly. The relationship is very good. We're not looking to hurt China. China was being hurt very badly. They were closing up factories. They were having a lot of unrest.
CBS's Kelly O'Grady.
You have businesses who are very uncertain. You also have a 30% tariff that's still in place, which is going to be, potentially passed down to consumers. It's not 145%. And then you think more broadly about these negotiations. We have been here before.
Under the agreement, for the next 3 months, U.S. goods in China will face a 10% tariff. Homeland Security has terminated the temporary protected status for Afghanistan. It means thousands of people who fled that country to the U.S. could be deported. President Trump signed an order today designed to lower drug prices. It gives drug makers 30 days to lower prescription costs or face new limits for what the government will pay. CBS News medical contributor Dr. Celine Gounder says there's already been pushback from the drug-making industry.
This is an executive order. Is this enforceable? We don't know. Last time this was contested in the federal courts. This was not successful in moving forward. And in fact, the Biden administration pulled back on it, seeing that this was not going to be able to move forward.
British police investigating a fire that damaged the door at Prime Minister Keir Starmer's house in North London. He now lives at 10 Downing Street. No one at that home was hurt. Wall Street, the Dow's up 869 points. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts. From the downtown LA Law Group Injury Help Studios.
You've got LA's Morning News
on KNX News 97.1 FM.
Good morning, 9:03. I'm Mike Simpson.
And I'm Brian Douglas in for Vicky Moore. California is in the sights of the Department of Homeland Security now. The Trump administration has announced that they're investigating California's cash assistance program for immigrants. Now, it's a program that provides money to elderly or disabled non-citizens who can't get Social Security. Now, Homeland Security's LA office is leading the probe. They're subpoenaing the LA County Department of Public Social Services, which administers the state program. Now, DHS says it wants to know if any ineligible immigrants actually received any money.
Let's talk more about the tariffs and the trade tariff pause with China, the 90 days. We've talked a lot about the ports and already seeing a drop in shipments from China, so they're hoping that there's going to be a turnaround here. John Baird talked with Yolanda Regalado, owner of Sirens Java and Tea in San Pedro. Her business is taking the hit, too.
And now they're talking about maybe they have a deal. Have you been hearing anything from people, and what do you think?
You know, I just heard that this morning, coming into the shop. One of my customers was telling me about, did you hear about the deal? And I said, well, until it's done, it's done. I mean, we don't know day by day, so we're just going to play it by ear and see what happens. Customers are a little bit more optimistic right now, but we'll see. We'll see, how it goes.
But you saw a little bit of a pullback, right?
Oh, definitely, yeah. We did. We did, because people weren't sure. It was at the beginning. They weren't sure what's going to happen. They weren't sure how many containers were coming in. They weren't sure if we were going to get our products. So that kind of left everybody like, okay, what are we going to do? And they were preparing. Everyone was preparing just in case. We'll see how this goes. I mean, tomorrow might be a different story. Today is today. So we go day by day.
Yeah, and nothing's overnight, right? Executives who run the ports of LA and Long Beach telling us if this deal sticks and they get this wrapped up, it's going to take at least a month before the volume gets back to normal again.
It's 9:05.
Traffic, Susie Jessup, Downey Hyundai Traffic Center.
Yeah, getting away from LAX right now, northbound side of the 405. From about right before Manchester, as you make your way to Venice Boulevard, it's pretty heavy and slow. We had an earlier problem at La Tierra, northbound 405, a two-car collision. That did clear over the right shoulder. And in that area, Nadine checked in from Inglewood, and she said there was a citywide tower outage. She just called and said that there was a lot of signals that were out, La Cienega, La Tierra. So again, if you do come upon a signal that has an outage, or it's blinking, or it's completely blacked out, treat it as a four-way stop. I am seeing some slowing on La Cienega as you come off of the 405 freeway northbound, and a lot of slowing around Slauson as you make your way towards La Cienega. So it looks like there might be some big signals that are out on major thoroughfares through the Inglewood area. They're clearing up that wreck. Wow, things just cleared up really quickly. Stop outside of the 405 before Lakewood Boulevard. They cleared up the carpool and left lane. I'm seeing a little bit of slowing from Alameda as you make your way past the 710, and things do open up. And there's going to be a little bit of residual slowing, but so far looking pretty good in towards Orange County. Steve had just finished his overnight shift at John Wayne Airport. He was driving on the northbound 55. Earlier problem, he was saying southbound 55, a multi-car crash. Thanks, Steve, for calling. That did clear from the carpool lane, and there's just a little bit of slowing in the southbound 55 coming away from the 22 as you make your way in towards Tustin. That earlier problem, southbound 5 at State College, that cleared as well. Just seeing some pockets of slowing, leaving the orange crush as you make your way into Tustin.
Hi, Susie. Thank you. Governor Newsom plans to escalate the push to ban homeless camps on public spaces like sidewalks and our parks. He's offering over $3 billion in state funds to help cities follow his new simple law that sites cities can use to ban and remove homeless camps. The New York Times reports the model ordinance requires local authorities to offer shelter and to give people 48 hours notice before actually clearing any camps. Some people support the plan because they're frustrated with growing encampments, but others worry it could lead to punishing homeless people instead of actually helping them.
The animal welfare advocates is suing the LA Zoo director, saying she misled people over the fate of those two elephants. What was going to happen with them? Here's Emily Valdez.
Protesters outside the LA Zoo chanting, "Not another zoo," and that is for Tina and Billy, the elephant here. They want them to go to elephant sanctuaries where they have thousands of acres to roam instead of another zoo. They are planning to send the elephants to the Tulsa Zoo. Attorney Melissa Lerner has filed a lawsuit over it. There is no zoo that is safe for elephants to be held captive in. It doesn't matter how you label it, whether you call your exhibit a preserve, whether it's expanded, it pales in comparison to the amount of room that these animals need in order to be able to be healthy, both, sound of mind and body. Currently, Billy and Tina are being kept in separate areas, so they are alone. At the LA Zoo, I'm Emily Valdez, KNX News, 97.1 FM.
Well, there's a new report on those faulty alerts that a lot of us got during the wildfires. It comes from Congressman Robert Garcia's office, and it's calling for more federal oversight of a system that's usually basically a patchwork. You probably remember one of those messages. It was intended just for that small area near Calabasas, but the evacuation notice was pushed to the entire county. Millions of us got that thing, and we're a little concerned. Investigators blame a technical flaw, overloaded cell systems, and also vague wording. The recommendations call for more federal funding, equipment, and training, but that Garcia's worried things could get even worse if the Trump administration dismantles FEMA.
People who went through the Eden Fire meeting with contractors, architects, county officials at a big event Pasadena Convention Center yesterday. The Future Fair started as a grassroots thing, ended up having more than 1,000 people RSVP'd. 99-year-old Don Martin was there. Talked to KCAL News.
We hope to make progress and get rebuilt and move back into that same area.
Brady Norstead, one of the organizers, says they needed a big event.
For a lot of people that I talked to, as far as the organization were growing, they felt like, oh, this is happening too soon. I think if your house burned down, you feel like this conversation could have happened a month ago.
They had vendors specializing in fire-resistant building, lightweight concrete, and solar.
High salaries, lots of training are among the reasons. California is actually the best place to be a police officer, but as special correspondent Steve Gregory explains, the new nationwide report may have left out some key elements.
The annual report breaks down some of the reasons departments attract new officers, like salary, training, and quality of life. Data compiled by WalletHub shows California officers have the third highest annual income in the country, along with one of the best starting monthly salaries. The high number of required training hours with mandatory de-escalation training are also some of the things that attract new officers. This is the second time in a row California came in first place, and it's the second time unions like the Los Angeles Police Protective League say the report is flawed and misleading and lacks real insights from the officers themselves. Union President Craig Lowley told Police One low staffing levels in Los Angeles, San Francisco, and San Jose have led to dangerous officer safety situations, slow 911 emergency response times, and mandatory overtime of all impacted officer morale. Now, the second best place to be an officer is Connecticut, followed by Illinois. WalletHub says it used stats from federal agencies, news outlets, and nonprofits to compile the report. Oh, and the worst state to be an officer? Alaska, which came in last place. I'm Steve Gregory for KNX News 97.1 FM.
9/11. We've decided to change our name. California Fancy Pants Windows. Just kidding. California Deluxe Windows. Our name says it all.
California Dream. This Memorial Day, the surf's up and the prices are coming down at the store that helps more Southern Californians do their California dreaming than any other. Citizens Sleep. Right, Dad. It's Citizens Sleep's biggest Memorial sale ever. Get a dream price on a dream bed with up to $1,000 on Sealy, Serta, and Purple. You can even save up to $900 on a luxurious Pediatrix Black and up to $500 on Tempur-Pedic adjustable sets. Plus, with your good credit, get 0% financing for 36 months with your minimum monthly payment and 10% down. And remember, only Citizens has bed match technology that scientifically measures your shape and size and recommends just the right mattress. So if you want to live the California dream every day, count on the mattress store more Southern Californians trust to do their California dreaming every night. Sit and Sleep. Don't miss Sit and Sleep's biggest Memorial Day sale ever. California dream. Sit and Sleep will beat anyone's advertised price, or your mattress is free.
If you're 55 years of age and older, you probably fear running out of money before you die more than you fear death. That's what the surveys say. I'm Tom Mosley from Right on the Money Show on 1070 AM, from the Right on the Money TV show, from the Wealth Council on Fox Business, and the founder of Mosley Wealth Management. Getting your retirement right on the money can seem daunting. It can seem intimidating. And that's why we invite you to contact us at Mosley Wealth Management. Retirement Blueprint. That takes the guesswork and, more importantly, the worry work out of your financial future by having a true plan for income that you can't outlive. And all of this is at no charge to you if you're listening to us right now on KNX. Claim your time with my team and build your own retirement blueprint with us right now. Go to mosleywealthmanagement.com. That's MOSLEY wealthmanagement.com, and get on our schedule and claim your blueprint.
Sue and her wife Helen meet their son every Saturday for lunch. One week they were late because Helen didn't realize it was Saturday. At the restaurant, they enjoyed their usual favorites and caught up. But after the meal, Helen got upset because she needed help calculating the tip. Sue missed 2 warning signs of Alzheimer's. Did you? Know where Alzheimer's and all dementia hide. Learn more at alz.org/2signs. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association.
That's the sound of James adding long-lasting Gain scent boosters to his laundry this morning. Several hours later, James sniffed the irresistible scent of Gain on his shirt. Okay. Several hours later, James has even caught the attention of his mother-in-law, and she never gives him attention.
Ooh, you smell amazing, Jane. Oh, thanks, Mom. I love you too. I never said that.
Add Gain Scent Boosters to your laundry. Add joy to your day.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Good morning, I'm Mike Simpson.
I'm Brad Douglas in for Vicki Moore. Coming up on KNX News 97.1 FM. Well, you were expecting a package from Amazon, and you also got something you didn't expect from the delivery person. We'll fill you in. Coming up.
9:15, we got some power problems in Inglewood this morning. Susie Jessup brought to you by Downtown LA Lumber.
Yeah, we do. You know what, Mike and Ryan, I just got off the phone with Inglewood TV, and they were saying 3,300 customers are affected by this power outage in Inglewood. Southern California Edison is working on it. They're trying to figure out what the cause is. And this is mainly around eucalyptus and centinella and beech. But I asked the officer, you know, are the lights blinking, the signals blinking red? She said no, they're completely blacked out. So that makes it for a little bit of a dangerous situation. So keep in mind, if you come up to an intersection, it is a four-way stop, whether they're blinking red or they're completely blacked out. So again, there's a lot of slowing through those areas with cars starting to back up. Northbound side of the 405, we also got some reports that it was on La Cienega and La Tijera as well for some of those outages. And the northbound side of the 405 flows from Century as you make your way to about Venice Boulevard. We got a call from Fire Alarm Dave, who said on the westbound side of the 101 at Lost Virgin, CHP was running a traffic break, and I am seeing some slowing through there. Dave, I'm not sure if there was some debris or something in lanes. There was no wreck, but again, a little bit of slowing as you leave Calabasas, and once you sort of pass Lost Virgin, it's pretty good speed through there. Also got a call from a tipster southbound side of the 5 past Brookhurst. He said there's a 3-car collision that's blocking the left lane, and I am seeing some slowing as you make your way in towards Anaheim. You got an injury accident, slip and fall, been victimized by an assault. The injury help you need is just a text away. Text injury help to 40222. Downtown LA Law Group is California's top injury law firm. Text injury help to 40222 or Google. Call downtown.com for a free case review. SoCal's only reliable traffic reports every 10 minutes on the 5. The Downey Hyundai 24-hour traffic center.
For LA and Orange County, we're looking at low 70s today, so a little closer to normal, and cooling to the upper 60s with the possibility of patchy drizzle tomorrow morning. Mid-70s today for the valleys, low 70s tomorrow, and then upper 70s by the middle of the week. Upper 70s for the Inland Empire with a 10-degree drop tomorrow, and then swinging back up to the upper 70s by Wednesday. Mid-70s for the high deserts with those winds picking up. We do have wind advisories in this area. Upper 60s tomorrow, and then for the mountains, wind advisories also low 60s, dropping down to the low 50s on Tuesday. And that's your next weather forecast. I'm KCON News meteorologist Amber Lee for KNX News 97.1 FM.
Yeah, we're talking fireworks there. The Big Bang on the Bay has been saved, at least for now. It's an over-the-water fireworks show at Block Party in Long Beach. Usually happens the day before the 4th of July. Attracts thousands of people. It'll continue as planned this year after the Coastal Commission approved a permit. It's a 5-year permit, but it's only a transitional one. After this coming year, it's looking like only a drone show is going to be allowed, so no fireworks for the next 4 years. This year, fireworks. Next year, the next 3 years after that, no. The problem is there are a number of arguments over whether a drone show would actually be safe. The Press Telegram says some fire officials have concerns that it wouldn't be feasible. Basically, you can't fly directly over people in case something goes wrong. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But it'll be fireworks this year. Big Bang on the Bay started back in 2011. Acts as a fundraiser for local nonprofits and usually draws against thousands of people in Alamitos Bay.
New poll shows voters have really different opinions about former VP Harris and Mayor Karen Bass. The UC Berkeley LA Times survey. Harris holds a 50% approval rating even after losing the presidential election. Bass, however, losing support, criticism over the fires. How she handled things. Only 32% of LA voters viewed her positively. A few months before the fires, it was 50%. The poll found a lot of Democrats are frustrated with Harris for delaying her decision about whether or not to run for governor next year.
Let's talk about delivery, shall we? Two families in Woodland Hills shocked yesterday on Mother's Day when a delivery driver was caught on camera going to the bathroom on their porches. Number two, the woman who was delivering packages for Amazon was caught on security camera doing just that after she dropped those packages off on their porches. After the first video aired on KTLA, another family said in another video of what appears to be the same woman doing the same thing, and at one point, that woman was looking directly at one of those cameras. Amazon said that driver no longer works for him and said the behavior was disgusting, unacceptable, and apologized to both those customers.
You know, there's always the buy nothing thing.
If you were really honest with yourself, what is the thing you spend the most on that you probably don't have to?
Food, ordering in, yeah.
I would be clothes.
Clothes.
Yeah, I spend way too much on clothes, shopping.
Maybe going out to the bars.
The new no-buy practice, personal challenge for people to go a week, a month, or even a year spending money on only the bare necessities. And at the end of the timeline, counting everything you were able to save, because saving is something that is tough for a lot of us.
Do you feel like you do a good job saving?
No. In all honesty, yeah, I think we're good at saving. We are good at saving. Obviously, saving us to go on holidays last year, but could do better.
No, I do not feel like I'm good for, I'm also 26, and I don't feel like I am doing the best I could be.
I'm Jack Ferris, KNX News, 97.1 FM.
920.
We got a new trade dispute between the U.S. and Mexico, but this one's not about tariffs. Here's Tom Busby.
Yeah, this one is very different, and as if beef prices aren't high enough, the U.S. is now suspending imports of live cattle, horses, and bison at ports along the border with Mexico. It's because of the spread of a parasitic fly. It's known as screwworm in that country. It could become a real threat to the U.S. food supply and to U.S. animal safety here, not letting anything in. This report is sponsored by Total Wine and More. On Wall Street, a lot of optimism today about the U.S.-China trade truce that was reached over the weekend. Plan talks to hammer out a long-term deal. With that, stocks are soaring. The Dow right now up 900 points, a little more than 2% higher. The NASDAQ up more than 3.5%. All those tech stocks seeing big gains today. The S&P is up 148. And Michael Jordan is coming back, sort of. He'll be a special contributor to NBC Sports. That's when NBA games come back to the network starting in October, the start of the next season. I'm Bloomberg's Tom Busby from the Barrister off this week's Money Desk on KNX News, 97.1 FM.
I just want to thank KNX because I would have never accepted this job or stayed for 8 years and drive if it hadn't been for you. I constantly gone on other apps. They would have me sent all over the place. But as long as I have KNX on in the car, I know I'm going to get there and I know how many minutes it's going to take. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Southern California's news is KNX News, 97.1 FM.
Are your floors feeling a little uneven? Doors and windows sticking? Noticing cracks in your walls? These could be signs of foundation issues. And in earthquake-prone Los Angeles, that's not something to ignore. At Golden Retrofit, we make homes safer with expert foundation repairs and earthquake retrofitting. We've helped thousands of homeowners protect their properties. And with top ratings and reviews, people trust us to get the job done right. Older homes with crawl spaces or raised foundations are especially at risk. So, strengthen your home against earthquake damage with a seismic retrofit. Even if everything looks fine, a free professional foundation inspection from Golden Retrofit can give you peace of mind. Call Golden Retrofit today for a free foundation inspection at 888-999-0609. That's 888-999-0609. Or visit goldenretrofit.com.
As the experts in transmissions for over 50 years, there's nothing at AMCO we haven't heard.
So when I hit the gas,
Just about. And nothing we can't fix.
it's going, what's that?
From transmissions to brakes and everything in between. No credit? Finance your repair at AMCO. Exclusions apply, may not be combined with any other offer. Limited time offer, participating centers only. People who know go to AMCO. AA MCO.
Address your hair loss, get $250 off, 250 free hair grafts at advancedhair.com.
I've been a little food recall, so listen up, although some of you may have already consumed it. Pre-made food items called back in 4 states, including here in California, due to possible listeria contamination. Sandwiches, snacks sold under the brand names City Point Market Fresh, Fresh Food to Go, and Fresh Take Crave Away They're sold in hospitals, hotels, convenience stores, and airports. That's why I said you probably already ate it where you were, but several ham and turkey sandwiches, egg salad sandwiches, and others with use-by dates April 22nd through May 19th may need to be tossed if you happen to save one of those things. The San Fernando-based company found bacteria on some of its equipment. No illnesses, though, have been reported.
We've done a lot of stories about how difficult it is for some in Hollywood right now. Bob Brill reports on a young filmmaker who says, look, he's finding success doing everything that everybody told him not to do.
That kind of describes my career in general up to this point, is doing things that were probably a bad idea, and they seem to work out.
James Sunshine's new film, Killing Mary Sue, an action comedy, is up for Best Picture in a Los Angeles Film Festival and has already won Best Actor and Best Actress. It's set for public release in June. Sunshine told KNX News his first feature film was made during the pandemic, about the pandemic. Also, another story of the Hollywood hierarchy said was too early to do a film about COVID.
I've always been the type of person that has always tried to seize opportunities where other people claim that there aren't none. I shot my first feature during COVID because I looked at how the industry was shut down. I asked myself, can I be the only guy who's filming right now? It became the first indie feature film to get permission by the unions to shoot in Los Angeles. And it's actually a similar story for this one. We were prepping to shoot this leading right up into the actors' strike. And so we actually wound up shooting the film a week before the actors went on strike.
The film stars Sierra McCormick of American Horror Stories, Emmett Mulroney of Chicago Fire, Sean Patrick Flannery, and Martin Cove of Cobra Kai. I'm Bob Brill, KNX News, 97.1 FM.
925.
Traffic now brought to you by Yamaha Resort and Casino at San Manuel. Susie Jessup.
We have a power outage in Inglewood, and I've got a lot of sisters calling about this, and when I called Inglewood PD, they were saying Southern California Edison is working on it. There's 3,300 customers that are affected, but what's affected also are the streets. The street lights are not blinking red. The signals are not blinking red. They are completely blacked out. And so what the officer I spoke to said it was around Eucalyptus and Centinela, as well as Centinela and Beach. And our tipsters were saying also, La Cienega, La Tijera, all these some pretty major thoroughfares, as well as La Brea, Slauson. And for your ride getting onto the 405, it might be affecting your ride getting onto, for instance, the La Tijera or the La Cienega on and off ramp from that northbound and southbound 405. I am seeing slowing northbound 405 from about Century Boulevard as you make your way sort of towards the 10. That's sort of typical for this time of the morning. As far as your ride goes on PCH, you have jam-packed from the incline at the end of that first checkpoint at Chautauqua. Third at that wreck. That was on the eastbound side of the 101 at White Oak. That did clear, and the westbound side of the 101. We did have a stalled box truck blocking the left lane right past Balboa. So far, the eastbound side of the 101, slow from about, I would say, Tampa, as you make your way to the 405 and things taper off in towards the Hollywood split. The Bare Naked Ladies and their last Summer on Earth tours coming to Yamaha Resort and Casino at San Manuel on June 21st. Get tickets now at the Casino Box Office or YamahaTheater.com. The Bare Naked Ladies performing their biggest hits live in concert Saturday, June 21st at Yamaha Theater. Let's see, 21 to enter. Please gamble responsibly. SoCal's only reliable track reports every 10 minutes on the 5. The Medina Hyundai 24-hour traffic center.
Getting cooler this week, 60s and 70s today. Maybe some winds for the deserts this afternoon in the mountains. So lots of 60s tomorrow, coolest day, probably drizzle for the morning. And we got that May gray going on. Should get some sun by this afternoon, 927.
Did you know that every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care? It's a no-cost maintenance plan that covers all normal factory scheduled service for 2 years or 25,000 miles, whichever comes first. All work is performed by factory-trained technicians using genuine Toyota parts. Toyota Care will keep your new Toyota running like, well, a Toyota. Valid only in the continental U.S. and Alaska. We make it easy. Toyota, let's go places.
Everything you need to find your perfect Toyota is right at your fingertips at Toyota.com. Explore our full lineup of vehicles. Compare features side by side. Search our available inventory. You can even find the best local offers. Everything you need is just a few clicks away on Toyota.com. So for your next Toyota car, truck, or SUV, just visit Toyota.com. We make it easy. Toyota, let's go places. Check check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. The service is free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today. O'Reilly Auto Parts.
What was that? That is Business Phone Bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs. You sound very calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptions, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees. Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
Hi, I'll rant hell for Hollywood Suits. I couldn't believe my eyes when I went to Hollywood Suits. First of all, they have thousands of suits just in my size. They supply the industry with suits that are sold in stores all over the country for 4-5 times more than what you're going to pay at the Hollywood Suits. You get 3 complete suits made of the finest wool fabrics on earth. What is it, $599? It sounds unbelievable, even at that price. For 3 suits, they throw in 3 cotton shirts, 3 ties, belts, socks, and handkerchiefs at no extra charge. That's not 1, but 3 merino wool suits with all the accessories for $599. They've also got designer suits at the Hollywood Suits from Armani, Canali, Salvador Lorente, George Austin, and more. All at the lowest prices anywhere. They fit everyone. The Hollywood Suits, 3 gigantic locations: Hollywood, Torrance, and Westminster. Or call 800-SUITS-99. HollywoodSuits.com.
Need an accident attorney by your side? All you got to do is call the accident guy.
From the downtown LA Law Group Injury Health Studios.
This is LA's Morning News.
On KNX News, 97.1 FM.
Good morning, 9:30. I'm Mike Simpson.
I'm Brian Douglas. Vicky Moore, while the last surviving American hostage being held by Hamas has been turned over to the Red Cross. That happened just moments ago. CBS's Robert Berger reports that the release is expected to lead to shipments of much-needed aid into Gaza.
Military sources saying right away, really, 100 trucks or so a day are going to start rolling into Gaza. Now, this is after more than 2 months that Israel hasn't allowed any humanitarian aid into Gaza, and according to the UN and other humanitarian organizations, there's widespread hunger in Gaza. So this is desperately needed and should start rolling in very soon.
Now, President Trump from the White House praised the release.
And you know, Fidenza, the only American citizen, was captured and held hostage by Hamas since October 7th, 2023. And he's coming home to his parents.
This comes a day after Hamas said it was actually talking directly with the U.S. about a possible ceasefire.
Trump administration starting an investigation into a California program that they say potentially has made improper payments to immigrants. Homeland Security officials want to know if immigrants who aren't eligible for benefits have been getting money they shouldn't get. Began by subpoenaing records from LA County to check in for the use of the Social Security funds, illegal use of them. Officials say since the beginning they say they're cracking down on benefits going to people in the country illegally. California's got this cash assistance program. It gives money to disabled non-citizens who are blind or older, disabled, ineligible for Social Security. Homeland Security claims over 2 million ineligible immigrants, though, got the numbers last year. Social Security numbers they're investigating how to prevent what they describe as unauthorized benefit access.
Well, our stocks were very happy today, and they are up considerably today on the news from tariff talks over the weekend. U.S. and Chinese officials say they've reached a deal to roll back most of the recent tariffs and hit a pause for 90 days. President Trump praised the agreement this morning.
We achieved a total reset with China after productive talks in Geneva. Both sides now agreed to reduce the tariffs imposed after April 2nd to 10% for 90 days as negotiators continue on the larger structural issues.
Now, this whole agreement drops the U.S. rate on China from 145 down to 30%. CBS's Kelly O'Grady says the truce will actually give both sides time for a more complete deal.
Both sides put the barriers down a little bit, put their swords down a little bit. Still some barriers in place. Now,
agreed to continue talking and continue negotiating.
Now, analysts call this a substantial de-escalation of the trade war between the two countries, but warn, you know what, there's no guarantee that a 90-day truce will actually turn into a ceasefire when it comes to all this. China expert Gordon Chang says Beijing got really exactly what it wanted.
China got much more in this arrangement than we did. It's tariffs that keep Chinese products out of America, and China got tariffs substantially lower.
Now, last week, U.S. and U.K. reached a trade deal. Negotiations don't appear to be going as well with the EU, which came out with a list of products that it's going to target if their talks fall apart.
What does this mean for the ports of L.A. and Long Beach? John Baird talked to Mario Cordero, CEO of the Port of Long Beach.
This have to be good news to hear about, I guess, a 90-day truce, and it looks like maybe a tentative deal. How are you feeling about things?
Well, I feel optimistic. I think all along, I tend to have some rational optimism here that at the end of the day, this is too important an issue that for both countries that I do believe it's going to be a pragmatic approach and some kind of resolution.
It appears they have a deal, right?
I think the bottom line for us is at least they came to the table, and it appears that there's a meeting of minds on some issues, and giving a pause with regard to these extraordinary percentile of tariffs that would impact not only the economy, but the average American.
I mean, I would think the dock workers and the truck drivers have to be happy.
No, absolutely. It gives them certainty. And I think for the last, since April 2nd, it's been a real period of uncertainty. Dock workers have lost overtime work, some hours. Truckers have lost turn time, and in terms of their ability to make their income from the turnaround time in terms of picking up these containers, it's all the way down to the supply chain.
9:35. Traffic now. Susie Jessup, Downey Hyundai Traffic Center.
Yes, we have this power outage in Inglewood. Southern California Edison is working on it, and I did talk to Inglewood PD about sort of the area that it's affecting, which is about 3,300 customers, and mainly it's on Chusane, Centinela, and I'm looking at it between Eucalyptus and Beach. It looks like it might be sort of between, that would be between La Brea and La Cienega, and I am seeing some flowing, and you know what? The lights are not blinking red. They are completely blacked out. So whether they're blinking red or they're blacked out, treat that as a four-way stop. That's why things are a little heavier than normal at this time on Centinela, basically between La Cienega and La Brea. We did get a call from Marianne from San Pedro. I wasn't quite sure whether the lights were going to be blinking or blacked out. We got on and off the freeway at La Tijera as well as La Cienega. Marianne was driving on the northbound side of the 405, and she said the La Tijera off-ramp, the lights were normal. They were red and yellow and green and all that. So the northbound side of the 405 is normal. There's a normal commute. Basically leaving Century Boulevard as you make your way up towards Venice, and then things open up in towards the west side of town. We did get a call from Fire Alarm Dave. He just called back on the westbound 101 past Balboa. We had a stalled box truck. He said literally they were just hooking that truck up to the tow truck and clearing it out of the left lane. I am seeing some slowing in the westbound lanes coming away from the 405, and your eastbound side of the 101 slow basically from Tampa to the 405, and then it's wide open heading in towards the Hollywood split, so that's good. Also clearing up a wreck in Anaheim, southbound side of the 5. That was right past Brookhurst, blocking the left lane.
Hi, Susie. Thank you. President Trump is heading to the Middle East later this morning for a 4-day tour. He's going to visit Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and Qatar as well. And there's already controversy as the royal family of Qatar wants to give a Boeing 747-8 jumbo jet, that's one of the newer models, to be used by President Trump as the new Air Force One. The plane's going to be transferred to the Trump Presidential Library Foundation once the president ends his second term. Now, we talked to CBS News Justice correspondent Scott McFarland. He says both Democrats and also Republicans have problems with the gift.
Well, this is a mess. I mean, this is a $400 million aircraft that would be gifted to the U.S. government and then offloaded to the Trump Library before the end of the administration, which critics say would queue it up for personal use by Donald Trump, making it a very personal gift. I mean, you're going to get bipartisan criticism of this, saying we can't be taking gifts to savers and Qataris, considering their track record.
And President, he defended the move on Truth Social, saying, you know what, the current Air Force One, 40 years old and needs to be replaced, and by taking the plane from Qatar, they'll be saving taxpayers millions.
The president's bringing back an idea from his first term could lower the cost of some prescription drugs, signing an executive order to tie prices for certain Medicare drugs to the lowest prices paid in other countries.
Starting today, the United States will no longer subsidize the health care of foreign countries.
which is what we were doing. We're subsidizing others' health care. The countries where they paid a small fraction of what for the same drug that what we pay many, many times more for. And we'll no longer tolerate profiteering and price gouging from Big Pharma.
Mostly drugs given in a doctor's office, like cancer treatments. Ideas faced pushback from the industry before and was even blocked in court last time.
Well, the Ag Secretary has suspended livestock imports from Mexico on a month-by-month basis now. This is all to stop the spread of a flesh-eating parasitic fly that poses a threat to cattle here in the U.S. and also our nation's food supply. The fly, by the way, eradicated here in the U.S. about 6 decades ago, but it's recently been detected about 700 miles just south of the border. Again, in Mexico, the USDA says, you know, this is a national security issue, and that the last time it invaded, it took 30 years for the cattle industry to recover. Mexico's agricultural leaders disagree with the ban and say, you know what? Their cows, horses, and bison, they're all safe.
New Pope has met the media. Pope Leo had an audience with reporters from all around the world. The Vatican saying the Church stands with them in seeking the truth. Through an interpreter, he offered solidarity with journalists who've been jailed.
The Church recognizes in these witnesses, I'm thinking of those who report on war, even at the cost of their lives. The courage of those who defend dignity, justice, and the rights of people to be informed.
These journalists need to use AI with responsibility and discernment. Over the weekend, he went to the tomb of Pope Francis to give an address calling for no more war. Here's papal expert Francis Rocha.
He foresaw that people would be ready to say, if he didn't behave like Francis, oh, maybe it's a step back, restoration, back to the Middle Ages. Or, on the other hand, if he slavishly followed Francis, people would say, well, he's not really his own man. So he's trying to do both.
At the appearance today, somebody on the front row had a baseball. He signed it. The Pope's a White Sox fan.
Well, another record is expected to be set this Memorial Day weekend. CBS's Jennifer Kuiper says people are sticking a lot closer to home, and that means a lot more folks on your roads.
When it comes to trying to determine how many people will travel between Thursday, May 22nd and Monday, May 26th, AAA spokesperson Diaz says they weren't sure what to expect with this forecast.
Given talk of some economic uncertainty and some people perhaps maybe pulling back a little bit, we thought, okay, how are the numbers going to shape out? But 45 million Americans are projected to travel, according to our AAA forecast.
And Diaz says that sets a new Memorial Day weekend record. That's primarily because more people are driving to their destination. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News.
941.
If your homeowner's insurance doesn't want to pay you enough to fix your home after water damage, you should call public adjuster Avner Gatt. Avner and his team will negotiate with your homeowner's insurance for the best settlement. Call Avner Gatt, 818-917-5256, avnergatt.com.
Looking for a prestigious business address without the cost of a full-time office? Barrister Suites makes it easy with their virtual office program. Get mail handling, live reception services, and access to fully equipped meeting rooms at any of their 25 SoCal locations. And for a limited time, mention this ad and spring into the savings with a 15% discount. Barrister Suites gives your business the image it deserves and your clients the service they desire. Call 310-258-8088 or visit barrister-suites.com today.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, order, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
Attorney advertising. This is a legal alert for survivors of the Eaton fire. Evidence indicates that abandoned Southern California Edison transmission equipment was the cause of the Eaton fire. Join the wildfire attorneys at Robbins Cloud for a free informational workshop at Unity of Pasadena on Tuesday, May 13th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. You will learn about the lawsuits against Southern California Edison and how to secure your rights. The wildfire attorneys at Robbins Cloud have an over 30-year proven track record of winning even the most difficult cases. If you or your family suffered injury or property damage to your home or business due to the Eaton fire, you may have a claim for damages from SCE, and the wildfire attorneys at Robbins Cloud are here to help. It is important you understand your rights against Southern California Edison and how to secure compensation. Join Robbins Cloud on Tuesday, May 13th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Unity of Pasadena at 3053 East Del Mar Boulevard. Robbins Cloud LLP is a California-based law firm.
Summer's better with TruGreen, especially their price this low. For a limited time, get 75% off your first treatment and enjoy your lawn without overspending. With TruGreen, you get expert care and a plan tailored to fit your lawn's needs. So it looks best while you save big. Let the pros handle the hard work while you enjoy the results, relax more, and keep more money in your pocket. A great lawn has never been this easy or this affordable. Sign up now at TruGreen.com. Restrictions apply.
Your older home is at risk for earthquake damage. Protect it with a retrofit from Golden Retrofit. 888-999-0609.
Good morning, I'm Mike Simpson.
I'm Brian Douglas in for Vicki Moore. The Sean Diddy Combs sex trafficking trial, it is well underway right now. We'll have the latest for you.
Heading into a nurses' strike soon in Long Beach. Traffic now, 945, brought to you by Downtown LA Law. Susie Jessup.
You know, we had the power outage in Inglewood, affected about 3,300 customers, and it's mainly, I'm checking the lights, and when I called up Inglewood PD, they said the lights are not blinking red. They are completely blacked out. So again, whether they're blinking red or they're blacked out during a power outage, treat it as a four-way stop. So mainly, it's Centinela is affected, they're saying between Eucalyptus and Beach, which is basically between La Cienega and La Brea. So that's kind of a main thoroughfare through the Inglewood area. Now, I'm not seeing any street lights blinking, getting on and off the freeway for La Tierra or La Cienega. There is a little bit of slowing on that northbound side of the 405. You know, typical morning commute from Century Boulevard as you make your way to the 90s. Really slow on that upper loop and Sepulveda Boulevard. Pretty jam-packed from the 105 as you make your way to the airport, but Century Boulevard wide open. I think I would, rather than getting off on Sepulveda, I think I would take that southbound 405, get off at Century Boulevard. That's going to save you some time, and that's your instant route change brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. As far as your ride goes through the San Fernando Valley, we had a couple issues. One of them was on the west side of the 101, right past Balboa, where you had a stalled box truck blocking the left lane. That completely cleared out a lane. Still some slowing from the 405 and 3 right on the eastbound side of the 101. Slow from about Tampa as you make your way to the 405 as well. Jumping to Orange County, that earlier problem on that southbound side at Brookhurst did clear, and really not that bad of a ride. A little bit of slowing coming away from the 91. Injured at work, it's now easier than ever to find the injury help you need. Just text injury help to 40222. Downtown LA Law Group Injury Attorneys will help you get time off needed to recover, and you get paid for injuries on the job. Text injury help to 40222 or text call downtown into your search bar. So guys, only reliable traffic reports every 10 minutes with a 5 from the Downey Hyundai 24-hour traffic center.
Temperatures will be in the upper 60s for the coast today, low 70s for LA and Orange County, mid-70s for the valleys, upper 70s for the Inland Empire, mid-70s for the high deserts, low 60s for the mountains. Even cooler as we head into Tuesday, the temperatures start to move back up a little closer to normal for the second half of the week. By this upcoming weekend, another trough passes to the north of us, potentially bringing some drizzle to the area, and that's also going to allow temperatures to cool even more. And that's your next weather forecast. I'm KCAL News meteorologist Amber Lee for KNX News 97.1 FM.
And it's 9:47. The jury is seated in the Sean Diddy Combs sex trafficking trial. Hearing opening statements this morning. Prosecution just wrapped up detailing their case against him. They told jurors to expect to see videos of the freak-offs that are at the center of the